Hello everybody, this is JP3 here, coming at you with another entry in our wonderful Halo Combat Evolved Legendary Playthrough series. We're on mission number 2, Halo, the titular level, aptly named, as we are now, as Master Chief, going to spend our first bit of time on the mysterious ring world we saw in the cutscene after the first level finished. And so I'm a huge fan of this level. I think it's one of the most influential levels in first-person shooter history, much less in franchise history. So hopefully that love is conveyed to a large degree as we play through it here on our channel. So I like to start off with this just, personal goal that's been there for a very long time. I like to try to take down both of the Banshees that will appear overhead, trying to stunt your progress after the crash landing of your escape pod. Now, it is not exactly advisable to do this. You certainly don't need to do this. In an ideal world, you would let one get close enough to where it crashed down on this ridge here, and you were able to take the elite who's piloting it, his plasma rifle and plasma grenades, and that would help you in any of the upcoming battles before you're able to obtain those weapons from the enemies that are nearby. But that's not the way I like to do it. Instead, I like to weaken both of them just enough, just to the point where it only take a couple more shots to blow them out, and then take one out and then the other, because once you take out one, the other likes to bug out. He's about to bug out, but he's not going to make it, God bless it, because by God, I am going to make sure that doesn't occur and stuff. So, upcoming, especially if you don't get one of the plasma rifles off of one of those elites that's flying those Banshees, this upcoming battle here can be one of the more difficult ones, at least in the level, because it's one of the few instances in the game where you have to kill an elite without a plasma weapon. And so we're going to do our best with these frail human weapons to de-shield this. Fortunately, we have an elite miner here, and once we're able to do that, we're going to try and headshot him. He is de-shielded now, and so we're just going to take our grenade there and blow him up and stuff. I don't really worry a heck of a whole lot about losing health here, because I do like to track back over to the to the escape pod and pick up health over there, and as well as the re-upping ammunition and my grenades and stuff. So and that's all part of little routine I've done through here for a very long time. I think when I first started playing this game, I kind of thought that, well, if I did kill all the enemies in this area, they would catch up to me if I moved forward. So, and it's just one of those things that kind of stuck, unless I was, making some feeble attempt at speedrunning this level or something like that. So we get a nice little, after several attempts, we get a nice little overcharge to track him, and can't quite get the headshot though. But whether we shot him to death there or he got trapped in that rock and somehow took some sort of mystical geometry damage, I think we're able to get him there without a headshot. This will not work in Halo Combat Evolved nearly as well as it might in Halo 2. So since that did not work, since that plan did fail, we will stay in cover as much as possible, and while he's looking down and away, we'll give him the old noob combo. So this here, if I remember right, is where I try to throw a grenade in between those trees. This is totally possible. The only problem is that's probably best to throw that at least at some point further away or some point a little bit closer, and not right at a rock and a curve in the ridge there where you could theoretically fall off. But that grenade did just fine. It killed one guy, it knocked another guy off the bridge, and of course for that grunt miner there we have this plasma rifle, which will chew into his health pretty fast there. Now there's like, I think 5 grunts total, so I knew there was some over here, so I shot there to pull them out of their little cover / ambush position there, and now we can pick up one of their plasma pistols, which we'll take into the next area, re-up our grenades, top off our pistol ammo and our health, and be on our way here. Now this is a long walk. I believe I go with the whole walk here with the new graphics. They don't quite carry the same nostalgia that the old graphics do, but they sure are beautiful, especially given that they are now, believe it or not, 7 years old. And for reskinning, yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job for the most part, especially with this level. I thought they did a decent job. But when we're in combat and range situations, I'm still a little superstitious. I like to go with the old graphics. I think it's a little bit easier to hit the headshots with them. I think it may have something to do with the reskinning or the character models, or it may just be one big giant excuse for my failings and or de-rusting as I go through this level. But I generally like to go with new graphics in the indoor areas and older graphics whenever we have a lot of ranged outdoor combat. But unlike with my Halo 2 series, you will see a lot more of the new graphics here, because I do think they did a good job in updating them here. I did a great job with Halo 2 as well, but that game on legendary difficulty is way too hard to leave anything to chance. So I like to come around this rock and this tree and throw a grenade right there, and on any other difficulty you will blow all of those grunts up. Here we do not blow them all up. The good news about that is you do tend to get 3 to 4 grunt kills there. The bad news is that you do draw the elite's attention. But you could also argue that is good in a way, because they will also be at least partially diverted by the Marines that are still living. And you do have a lot better chance of keeping them alive if the elites come over here instead of staying focused on the Marines near the Forerunner structure there, that central structure. Oh, come on, there we go. BAMF, that's what I say. Alright, so yeah, we did a pretty decent job of keeping the Marines alive here. We're not going to sit here for this dialogue. I do like to race over to the dropships. The safest bet in this area is probably to stay in the central structure. Probably. But I do like to try to get them off the dropship. It's a little more risky, but it's high risk, high reward, I guess. As far as staying in the central structure, that's a little bit easier because there's only 2 ways in which they can be funneled up. Those 2 walkways going up there. So anyway, we miss that grenade stick, but he runs right in front of his friend who was stuck and takes a nice little hit there. Notice how I'm using the ridge here for pretty decent cover, and the plasma overcharges to kill the 2. Oh god, the 2 jackals. This guy, even at his running, in his running animation, seems to be very dodgy. Oh, I can't even get an overcharge right there in his face. Great, that's awesome. I do miss the grenades that elite major dropped for reasons, probably for me spending way too much of my efforts here trying to run over here and speed over here. I really don't quite understand the timing of the dropships. I fully believe that if I got over here just a little bit earlier, that this dropship would have set up in the air for like 30 more seconds. But since I didn't, it came out, I guess, at just about the right time. Notice how the elite there gets trapped inside the geometry of the ship, and still able to shoot us at a very accurate clip there. Yeah, there's no doubt, no matter, I guess, what game you're playing, but certainly Halo on Legendary difficulty, you're dealing with a computer game. And we were able to actually kill him, though. I think we were able to headshot him, even though he had that magical cover of being trapped inside that geometry. So, yeah, I'm going to race over to this one now. I missed some more grenades there. I was policing the bodies. I was punching in the air in frustration, but actually the grenades had kind of tumbled a little bit down that hill in front of a tree. So I just flat out missed them. So normally I'd like to go over to the other side and try to stick those elites instead of, and then have the grunts to mop up. We don't get a chance to do that. Our headshots are fair to middling there, and now we got a little potentially concerning skirmish on our hands here with 2 elites, including 1 major and, well, at one point a grunt with a needler. But we get a nice track there. I guess 2 grunts with needlers at one point, and now it's mopping up the old elite miner there. So now we can finally police successfully for grenades. I never quite make it fast enough over to this dropship, unfortunately. I don't think it's possible unless you do a speedrunning method called drop skip, where you skip this dropship and just go right over to the other one. Notice how that attempt at throwing that grenade from that angle, at least one of them failed. because I hit the large blocky geometry of that otherwise thin-looking tree branch there. So just, you know, be wary there. Don't waste a lot of grenades trying to get those guys off the dropship like that if you're just gonna end up hitting geometry a lot of the time. This fight gets a little too hairy, and guess what we do? We run over to our safety zone here. Now this is a quasi-consistent trick here. They're both kind of weak shielded. I throw a grenade over there and hope I can lock them into that position by holding this overcharge. Remember, no matter what, no matter how cool the AI is in any one game, they're a lot of times in most games going to be reading your inputs. In that case, they believe that I have the overcharge, they had the weak shields. I believe it kept them in place. Now normally they would dodge away from the grades, but I think again I just kind of confused them, and so they stuck with their first strategy, which obviously was not the most effective one. Notice here, you could do this for the whole battle here, is just have them all funnel up these walkways. And since in this case we've got them both, in this case both the dropships are coming from the right, they're only really going to funnel up this walkway. The only time you ever get it to where they're coming up dual walkways is with that third dropship and the way it comes out. I guess it's possible they could come around the back if they were fighting some Marines and blah blah blah, but usually they'll come up this walkway except for that dropship that we had that came behind us. If for anything, that's the one you want to rush with plasma grenades to stick the elites and your headshot weapon ready to plug the grunts.
They're coming in fast. If those lifeboats make it down, the Covenant are going to be right on top of them.
So right now I'm just policing for more grenades, more plasma grenades, and a better plasma pistol. We don't get too lucky with the grenades, which is mildly unfortunate. Notice there was a health pack back there by the escape pod. We're not going to wait to get another Marine in the driver's seat. We really don't need another Marine in the driver's seat here. Let's just enjoy the ride here. This, by the way, that moment there, picking up that Warthog, brings back a lot of those whisper of memories that I have when I was, again, a very young adult. First had purchased this console, this Xbox console in this game. I just thought it was amazing that a first-person shooter had not only this big of a world, but could seamlessly transition from first to third person, and pretty decent driving mechanics even for the time. They weren't great for the time, but especially compared to like racing games, games that focused a lot on cars. But I'll tell you, it wasn't bad at all back then, and it's you know, now it doesn't function as well as the Warthogs that we've had in the subsequent Halos, but it still does the job. It does the trick. So I like to park back here and take care of grenade-throwing grunts, because all they got to do is stick you once on this big giant target here and it's over, and overcharging jackals, because if they overcharge the vehicle, your shields go all the way down, and then any shots you take from there on out, no matter how much damage resistance the vehicle gives you, have the potential of causing you health loss, and you really don't want health loss before the scarier skirmish that occurs in this area. The scarier, if not just genuinely scary skirmish in here is whenever you'll face off against 3 elite majors going up to the button to activate the bridge over there. So no health loss. Certainly don't want to die to a grenade, grunt grenade, but no health loss either. So we take care of the jackals that are in sight. We take care of the grunts over on this side, and then at some point we can pull forward, rather safely at a nice distance that allows our gunner to take shots at the elites, but is far back enough that he doesn't face a whole lot of resistance from the elites, and certainly too far away for a grunt to get off a grenade throw, at least not before I can shoot the guy. So again, that distance there is that's, well, the way it is now, it looks almost perfect. So about that distance is really good. Notice how there's, of course, plasma pistols here from the jackals. Make sure and get you a fresh one for the upcoming mini skirmish here. That's, again, scary. Pick up some plasma grenades. You'll need those. Remember where any that have fallen are. Go ahead and take care of this jackal so he doesn't try to screw you coming out of the coming away from pressing the button and stuff. He can sometimes be a little slippery. So now we're going to take care of these guys. Notice how he can see us through the wall. Again, showing that it's not the face or eyes necessarily at all times of the character model that can see you. Either that or he can see through geometry. It's one of the two. I'd believe anything with these elite majors and on legendary difficulty. So I'm just throwing everything in the kitchen sink, overcharges, headshot attempts, grenade sticks, and I believe that grenade stick does the job, does the trick. Just throwing everything at them. If I ran out of grenades there, I would not charge up here, at least unless I thought there was only one left, and then I might do it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and see if there's any more grenades I can please for and take these guys out without getting too close. So here's the quasi-unavoidable cutscene here. I think speedrunners know how to avoid this one, but I actually don't. And I don't really care to. I've always kind of liked it. You know, I think this kind of thing, just a bridge activating with a, you know, nice, cool little Forerunner shimmering technology there. As beautiful as that is, and that really is something, I think that scene, it always, now looking back especially, why do I love a scene like that? It's just a bridge extending. So what, big deal? But that music, that Marty O'Donnell touch, man, it made so many things in this game that were already good, great. I mean, when I say great, it almost feels like an understatement. Things that were good or great, he just made them even better. A simple bridge extending, but that music, the ambiance, even the choir-like singing afterward, all just beauty and sunshine for the old memory, the old emotional memories here.
There's new traffic on the Covenant battle network.
You know, some people wonder why you have these long driving sections nowadays, but this was all the ways the developer's way of integrating in this, essentially this training for driving. That's why you have these long driving sections in the early portion without facing any major combat. It's all designed to train the player in how to use 2 analog sticks to drive the Warthog. Oh gosh. The music cues in this game are just spectacular, and this is one of the best. What I hate is that I didn't get enough air on one of these jumps to have my Marine go woohoo as this music kind of hits its crescendo. One of my favorite memories. Anytime I play this game, I always, you know, get a little bit of a kick, a little bit of enjoyment out of that.
Lifeboat detected.
Call me a nerd, a traditionalist. Best to stop here. Get this sniper rifle. Unless you have a different non-sniper rifle strategy that works for you, you want to grab it. Also, top off your pistol ammo, grab the health if you need it, and let's get ready for battle. So this is the order. There are 3 places where the escape pods have fell. You can go to them in any order you want. This is the order I prefer the most for my purposes. I stop early here for a reason that I'm not going to go into. It involves a very old strategy wherein you would park Warthogs outside of the areas here, and if you park them, then another one would drop from the Pelican, and then at the end of for the finale, you could have 3 Warthogs all shooting 50 cal up at the whoever was left, and that strategy actually worked really well for me at one point a long time ago. I just, you know, forgot I don't ever use it and kind of stopped short there, but not short enough. It is actually good if you want to stay in stealth, which I screw up here and don't, but if you want to stay in stealth, you do want to keep the gunner back. I don't know if you knew this. I think more people know this than not. The sniper rifle in this game is actually silenced. This is much more noticeable in Truth and Reconciliation. It is a silent sniper rifle. Why they gave it some big loud sound, I don't know, and why they took away that function of it ostensibly for future Halos, I'm not sure either. But it is silenced until the enemy notices you, and then they treat you like, you know, you're shooting anything at them. But if they don't notice you, it operates as a silenced weapon. They won't look in the direction of where you fire it, and they won't automatically try to find or automatically know where you're at. If you kill one of the enemies, they may start to panic or get frantic, and if they see you just by scanning the area, then, you know, the jig is up. But it actually operates as a silenced weapon, and that idea, that notion, comes in handy. Well, it's part of the whole mechanics that govern the first part of the next level, Truth and Reconciliation, but it also comes in handy in a big way in a very cute little strat that we do at during the early portions of the level, keys. So, but anyway, we'll leave that for keys. I like to drive up here, have my gunner in range of enemies that are advancing. They are wily on Legendary, and then suddenly can become very aggressive. especially whenever there's a 50 cal pointed at them. They do tend to get a little more cautious, but our gunner and our pistol are doing a pretty good job here of taking things out. And yeah, the gunner finishes off that jackal, does us a big solid with that there. And so as soon as you come up here, the enemies that you didn't kill in the quasi so-called stealth section will come out. And then when you kill all of them, I believe it's all of them, then the drop ship will drop off enemies. I don't know if I can explain why my sniping right then was as horrible as it was. The only thing I can tell you is that I'm de-rusting with the sniper rifle in this level, no doubt about it. Should not waste sniper rifle ammunition on grunts. Not at this point, not when they're all going to be running up here and we'll have a chance to shoot them with the pistol. It's probably not a terrible idea either to go ahead and take the Warthog over here and let the gunner have at those enemies as well. So here's where the sniper rifle drop is. It is a sniper rifle, so you don't have to worry about running it over and wasting any of the ammo like you would with a sniper rifle ammunition box. We'll talk about that in Truth and Reconciliation. Quick little note here. I don't know why this is, but I do not normally go out that exit. Every one of these areas has two entrances and or exits. I go out the quote-unquote wrong one here, and I actually got lost. I'm like, I don't know where to go from this angle. I usually go back the way I came. So I just a little bit of a snafu here. The imperfections of a human playing this game. Even one that's played it this level in this game many times over the years, even over the past couple of years. So come back out here, and then I just go across the way to this next section. That's why I like coming out there, because it makes it easy to find the next section I like to occupy. I like to come to this section second because it doesn't have a sniper rifle ammunition drop, whereas the first one does. So I can use the sniper rifle re-up that I got in the first section to kill off this section. The third and final section, the one that I like to go to third, actually does have a sniper rifle in it. And by the way, if a Banshee shows up, yes, they can Banshee bomb you and make your life miserable if you're in a vehicle, but that 50 cal, even on legendary difficulty, just tears it to pieces. So don't be too scared of the Banshees. So we're going to stay in stealth for a little bit longer in this area, I think. Notice how the elite miners go down with 2 sniper rifle shots. The elite miners go down with 1 single sniper rifle shot if it's to the head, which is exactly how it should be for the majors on legendary. I don't care what anybody says. It takes too much skill, and the hit boxes for these elite heads are just a little too small. For both elite majors and minors, if you do not shoot the head, especially when the enemy is de-shielded, it can take up to 3 shots to kill them. Especially if you're hitting the shoulder or the arm. I'm not sure about the leg, but certainly the shoulder or the arm. So it can take up to 3 shots to kill both of those ranks on legendary difficulty. But for if you're using headshots, which you hope to do, an elite major will go down with 2 shots if one is to the torso, or well, anywhere, and one is to the head. If 2 are to the torso, then it will go down in 2 shots. But it will not go down with a single shot to the head. The only difference between the majors and minors with the sniper rifle is that you can one-shot the minors with a headshot on legendary. Right, so we've done enough sniping. I do kind of screw this area up. You know, look, it was really only looking back on it, not even so much as I was doing it, that I realized that, you know what is the best idea in my opinion here? The best idea is to go underground in this structure that was right in front of us. Now it's to our left. Go underground there and take care of all the enemies in there. Some of the Marines may come out there, take care of all of those enemies, then do what I'm doing now, and then mop up anything that's remaining in underground through the ladder entrance, the one that we're kind of facing now. See how he took 3 shots there? It's BS, but it is what it is. So he took 3 shots because apparently 2 out of those 3 shots must have hit him, maybe even all 3 must have hit him in I think the shoulder, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I let that hit me. I guess I was way too focused on dodging the first one. I missed the grunt up there, which I'm not sure why he didn't take out our Marine here sooner with a grenade. That's usually the automatic response of grunts whenever they get around Marines. In Halo 1 and 2, especially Halo 1 and 2. They know the Marine AI suck at dodging grenades. Or any friendly AI, really. It could even be the Covenant AI, friendly AI you have with the Arbiter. They know that they cannot dodge grenades well at all. So I'm trying to finish these guys off. Let's do this. Let's get this done now. How about that? Maybe one extra bullet than we actually needed, but that's actually pretty good. I think all the elites are taken care of. Again, we're going to re-up with our sniper rifle in the next section. If you just heard that, the grunt finally threw a grenade down and took care of the poor Marine there, who I parked in the worst position ever. Ugh. And right now you actually can go ahead and pick up a plasma pistol or something like that. In the next section, the sniper rifle ammunition drop is from an actual sniper rifle, not from an ammo box, so you don't need to hold onto the sniper rifle there. I'm not sure what they were doing down there, like they were maybe play fighting. But it looks like we've got a fairly decent amount of surviving Marines here, which is actually pretty cool. The only one that got killed was the one that was under my care, so I guess I'll have to live with that for the remainder of my days. So we get a smidge of an unnecessary slowdown here because, again, like I said, I didn't go at the very start. I didn't clear out that underground part. So now we've got two guys that are actually underground. This guy just came out, and then the next guy, who happens to be a Jackal Major, comes out last. Right now, I'm still thinking that, well, maybe he came out somewhere else, so I'm looking around, but that, obviously, the minimap's red, that indicator there does not tell you if he's above you or below you or at the same level. Just a quick gripe there. Notice how I punched him and he started running before I could punch him again. I didn't really realize this until just now, but I just wanted to state that I firmly disagree with the fact that the cooldown for your melee attack is longer than the cooldown for them being stumbled by your massive punch. I think that stumble, or whatever you want to call it, stun, should last a little bit longer than it takes for me to cool down from a simple melee attack. I mean, again, the Jackal's not even armored. It should only take one punch anyway. But if it's going to take two, I mean, he's actually going to take off running before my cooldown is done on just throwing a punch? Come on. Come on. Alright. Don't go up that hill. It's not going to work out for you, I promise. Don't try to ramp off it or anything. It doesn't work out. That is unless, of course, you're an expert in Warthog tricks in this game. So I like to follow the... I didn't really do that here, but I like to follow... If you have trouble getting back to where I'm... If you want to do this exactly how I do it, just follow the creek as it bends over to this way, and you'll find this entrance to the area over here. And I think this entrance is best... It's further away from the sniper rifle ammunition drop, but you do get a chance to survey the area a little bit better. You're going to get the chance to weaken a few fools, and this area actually initially doesn't go like I would have wanted to either, because not because of that. That was actually pretty cool. Notice how there's a pistol here, so there's an ammunition drop for it, but what happens here is I actually overcommit to the rocks here, not keeping in mind the fact that there are at least two elites in the area that I did see in my little scouting run through here, okay? So what happens is once the elites get wind of my presence, they, you know, attack in full force. Well, at least this guy does, not the other one. Actually, the other one hides for longer than... Well, anyway, we'll see that in a minute. And thank goodness for our gunner, who we parked in an advantageous position. Advantageous for us, at least. So now I did actually, I guess when I was playing this, forget that there was indeed another elite. I did see him. Maybe my scouting was not great there. Yep, and notice, yeah, they're shooting at guys. So notice again how the elite major came out towards us, even though, generally speaking, they're scripted to continue putting pressure on the humans up on these rocks. So again, that was, I would say, partially unexpected on my part, but there's really no excuse for that. I should have been a lot more careful in committing to the rocks the way I did. So this guy's been hiding the whole time. I stuck a grunt body instead of him. I thought I'd stuck him. So we just we can take care of a major one-on-one, a minor one-on-one, a major. Yeah, well, yeah, not nearly as successfully. I don't know why I was looking for the drop ship here like this. I mean, it's already over there. I don't know. That just chaps my hide. That's right in his face. That's right in his face. Jeez, man, his head rocked back at me. Come on. I mean, maybe the elite I didn't hit in the face, but I definitely hit that jackal in the eyeball. Come on. Just wasted 2 rounds of ammunition because of the unpredictability of headshots in this game. So now I'm having to use the pistol, the boring old pistol. I'd rather be sniping him in the face, but yeah. Now you stop trusting it, and you're like, well, I need to conserve my ammunition, and blah, 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 and you start playing more boring as a result. So I'm not sure where this grenade goes and why it doesn't kick ass. I'm really, truly have no idea. They are not invulnerable when they're inside that ship. You can headshot them before they even come down. So I have no idea how I missed that, but anyway. There we go. That headshot worked. Oh man, look at what our gunner is able to do here. Make sure and park them in a position that's advantageous. Kind of right out in the middle, for the most part, works pretty decently. All right. What are you doing? Just standing there. Now this actually works out pretty well. This isn't quite a luck shot Hail Mary thing. I've thrown that many times before, but well, I threw that one perfectly. I threw them both exactly how I would want to throw them. Maybe the timing was a slight bit off, but I thought that landed. I had forgotten that did not land. Now watch this. This is the other elite combo using the sniper rifle. If you snipe him anywhere on his body and you pistol him in the head, it will headshot him. Well, it'll feel like a one-shot kill with the pistol, but it's not technically, but you know what I mean. So that grenade, that was just a bad throw right there. That's all there is to it. Now notice how the gunner is still alive. Sometimes the gunner will distract these guys and will unfortunately have to sacrifice himself for the good of the cause, but here, well, he did sacrifice himself there, but we're not going to let these guys get away. We're not going to get away with killing our Marine. The second one I've lost today. It's not like any Marines that aren't with me stay alive, but the ones that are, not quite as lucky.
I found Captain Keyes.
Woo, yeah, so I like this battle last, because this is where you would take all 3 of the Warthogs, and they would all help you take this area out. This was, in my opinion, when I first played this was by far the hardest area on Legendary, because you had the dropships coming all around you, whereas in the other areas, the enemies are pretty static. You got the one with the dropship that comes, but it's only one, and it's in the one area you've got elevation on them, so... Anyway, still like to do that one last, but that's it. That's our run for today. If you like this kind of content, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see a lot more of it, please subscribe. And of course, leave comments with any questions, any concerns, any feedback, negative or positive. I'm a big boy, I can take it. And, or if you have any other requests, things you want me to do on this channel in the future, or maybe wish I'd done in the past. And if you want to get these videos that I make, if you want to get them hot off the assembly line, fresh off the presses, fresh off the assembly line, hit that notifications bell. It's right there close to the subscribe and thumbs buttons. Please hit the notifications bell. That way you'll know when I release something. As for now, however, this is JP3 signing out. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you very, very much for watching. Next up, we'll be doing the Truth and Reconciliation. Can't wait to give that one commentary. Another one of my favorite levels. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.